Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You ain't run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Smash the like button, like the video, share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Pillow Biting Miguel to do anything for us. We'll do this roll call real quick. We got a lot of things to get to. Kawhi Elliott, Brian Dow, G. McCall, Dal Anderson, Coach Hudson, True Boxing Night, Todd Swindle, Mr. Cell Block, Brother Cole, Mr. Shelton, Freedom's March, 704 Joe, Bond of Mansa Musa, Main Biker, Rick C, Enormous Giant Clothing Company, Sensei Storm B-Man, now to 86 early in that super chat. Salute, he says, salute Drew and salute to the mighty LDBC, hashtag we outside, all day, every day. My brother Ratchet since 91, salute. One deep in the building. Main biker in that super chat, he said, they can't beat us fair, so they sent a tyrant cop. That's exactly what they did. The more things change, the more things stay the same. But in that statement that I just said, the more things change, the more they say the same. That means nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes. If you didn't know what that meant, that means nothing ever changes. Only thing that changes is technology. That's the only thing that changes. All right, I want you to think about something. Black people knew what was going on with the police. They said, yo, they're killing us. And white folk and people that had white privilege say, nah, man, the black people are just, y'all are just criminals, man. Cops just don't beat people up for no reason. Decades later, Rodney King happened. I was in high school when Rodney King happened. And they whooped his ass. It was caught on video. That was the whole stop resisting thing. And they whooped his ass, and it was caught on camcorder. There was no social media back then. It was caught on camcorder. Somebody just so happened to be recording it. They said, oh, look at that. And what did they do? What did they do? Instead of addressing what the police did to that man, instead of addressing that and saying, hey, man, I don't know what, they didn't even try to put the handcuffs on him. They were just whooping his ass. What did they do? They dug up his criminal history. Well, yeah, he was arrested in 1980 this, and he, he's a drug addict, and he has a criminal record. Okay, so I don't know what he did for the police to step to him, but that didn't look like they was even trying to arrest him. Then they said he was resisting. No, you try keeping still when 5 cops are whooping your ass with batons. It shit hurts. They tried to justify the ass whooping. That's what they did. That's what they did. They tried to justify the ass whooping. And that failed. And then they let the cops off. And that's why LA had a riot. But the point is, we was like, see, they do whip our ass. And there was a lot of brothers was like, wait a minute. That was light, because last year, they done bust my elbow and knee up. I wasn't even arrested. They just hopped out on me and started kicking my ass. What we were saying is, you see, this is just the first time y'all caught this on tape. There's worse ass whoopings than that. That's not even caught on tape. And then the white people and the other ethnicities that think they have white privilege, they said, oh, well, Rodney, he does have a criminal record. Bullshit. What does that have to do with what's happening now? To say that is to say, oh, there's a war hero. He's a Green Beret and a Marine. He is the real life John Rambo. He took down platoons by himself. Got the Purple Heart, all these Medal of Honors, comes home, gets hit by a car. That's not fair. It's life. How does a man that's a real life G.I. Joe, well, one man, real life G.I. Joe, one man army, right? Real American hero, right? Comes home and is crossing the street and gets hit and rolled over by a drunk driver. The Koreans couldn't take him out. The Vietnamese couldn't take him out. The Germans couldn't take him out. Comes home and get hit by a drunk driver. That's not fair. Drunk driver in court. Do you know the medals that this man have? I was impaired. I didn't know who the hell that was. Not fair, right? Whether Rodney King was a habitual drug addict or a pastor, it didn't matter. Whether you're a drug addict or a drug dealer or a gun runner, or you're sitting in a church trying to help a white boy named Dillian Roof to find Jesus, and he comes back and lifts you up off your goddamn feet. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. You're black. Whether you're dark skin like Bud or light skin like Tank. Whether you got a process in your hair like Sugar Ray Robinson or your shit nappy like George Foreman. It doesn't matter. Whether you're a pure boxer like Floyd Money Mayweather or you're a slugger with guard power in your right hand like Deontay Wilder. It doesn't matter. Whether you got perfect teeth and on the Wheaties box like Sugar Ray Leonard, or you're a hard-nosed, hard worker like Larry Holmes, it doesn't matter. Your ass is black. Shouldn't see in that super chat. Salute. Thank you so much. Doesn't matter. When will you wake up? Thank you so much, Sensei. You tell him, man, I know he enjoyed that work of art that Bud dished out, man. And I'm so happy that he was able to see that. And, you know, we almost had an unfortunate moment to follow that. And Scrap nobody needed to see that, especially the history that Scrap knows about in his heart. And Scrap knows what's going on with Bud right now, what went on. And you know, we talk about historians. Scrapbook Boxing is the historian in the community. He is the historian. And Scrap could tell you a thing or two about what happened to Bud. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Pick a moment in time. What happened to Bud is consistent to how we are treated. And y'all might not think it's that serious, but I'm telling you, we almost lost Bud the other night. I'm telling you. I don't expect non-blacks to understand what I'm saying. I don't expect some of you knuckle draggers that were born about 15 years ago to understand. Let me ask y'all a question. Since Bud dominated Canelo, where's figure drawing? Remember that kid? The 18-year-old, half black, half Mexican? I thought he was all Mexican, and then I found out he was half black, and he was in here trying to challenge me on racial issues and boxing, and he knows boxing. And I said, okay. Had Bud had got mollywopped by Canelo, he'd be here right now. Where's he at? You notice he disappeared, right? What happened to the 58-year-old dude? Where's he at? Y'all can't show up to talk boxing? I'm not going to rub it in your face. I'm talking boxing. Vanish. You see, that's how you know they were arguing with full ego. Got to put that aside. Watch the fight, pick a winner, and see what happens. I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this. Gang, gang, right? Motherfuckers went harder on George Floyd, who was murdered in front of an audience, than they did on Dillian Roof. Do y'all know that? And when they went and got his ass, they put a bulletproof vest on him. Did y'all notice that? Did y'all remember that? And then he's in prison. What do you want to eat, kid? Get him some Burger King. Burger King? But here's the part that pissed me off. When the assembly line of black people got up there and said, Jesus said for me to forgive you. You know what? Do you see? And I'm going to say this. And you know what? I don't care how you take it. Do you see why a lot of black people got a problem with Christianity? I'm not saying to have a problem with Christianity. Understand what I'm saying? I'm saying, do you see why a lot of black people have a problem with Christianity? Because I'm not perfect, man. I believe in God and all that, but I'm just saying I couldn't have sat there and said that. I'm telling you, I'm like, nah, bro. These walls are helping you. Because what you don't understand is, if there was nothing separating you and me, I would slowly remove you from this plane with my bare hands, and I will smile while doing it. And it will be the most disgusting thing. But I'll take pleasure in it. That cracker deleted black people in a black church who tried to help him. No. Turn the other cheek, huh? I'm not gonna turn my back so you can kick me in my ass. No. Comes a time when you gotta fight, man. I'm sorry, man. That's a misrepresentation. I don't know any Muslim Klansmen. They're all Christian. They all got Bibles. They all use scripture to justify hanging niggas from their necks. Yes. I've heard it. Who were we on the continent of Africa before Christianity came to the continent? Who were we? We don't know. We've been whitewashed. And we're on all four corners of the globe. We're in Scotland, Ireland, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Canada, Alaska. We are everywhere. Japan. We are everywhere. We're everywhere and we don't know who we are. And one thing has been consistent no matter where you go. Nobody likes us. No matter who you are. You could be Muhammad Ali. You could be Ray Robinson. You could be Errol Spence. You could be Bernard Hopkins. You could be Joe Louis. You could be Marvin Hagler. You could be the Charlos. You could be Devin. You could be Larry Holmes. You could be Deontay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's why I don't understand you knuckle draggers. I really don't. That's why I get enraged when I see certain behavior. It is ridiculous. You young kids have no knowledge of self. You don't even know what's going on. When I say behavior has become normalized, there's YNs right now saying, oh, whoops, yeah, he got stopped at the cops. What else is new? No, bro. You really don't get it. You really don't get it because you're not looking at the circumstances, because getting stopped by police has become normalized to you. He's in his town. He just had a legendary win. He's in his town. His town. Had a whole parade for him. You can't tell me that those goddamn overseers, they're not officers, y'all. Those were overseers. Look it up. Look up what an overseer is. Those weren't officers. Those are overseers. And I don't care what you say. As soon as they walked to their car and saw who it was, they were supposed to say, yo, salute, bud. Drive more careful. And did a 180-degree turn and walk off and let him rock. Those overseers walked up, looked around, and I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. And I understand, man. You got to stay disciplined, man. You got to stay disciplined. And I want y'all to be I want to be very clear. I'm not taking shots at Christianity. I'm just saying these are the things that black people say, hey, man, this is why I can't rock with it. Do your own research on the word of Jesus. It's not what the Klan is telling you what it is. It's really not. Do your own research. I'm just saying I understand where all the aggravation comes from. You get my point? I'm not saying the word is not real, because people have gotten a hold of the word and they've bent it and twisted. They twisted it to suit their agenda. That's what the Klan did. I'm not saying it's the bad word. I'm saying I understand why people, now imagine walking around in dealing with being a victim of systematic racism all your life. And you have to fight and scratch, and you're dealing with this. I can't get this job. I can't get this education, and I'm trying. And now you want to tell me about God, and I go to church, and there's a picture of white Jesus in there. White Jesus looked like the cop that just went upside my head the other day. And then you find out that's not Jesus. You've been lied to. So I'm not justifying it. I'm saying I understand the aggravation. That comes to the point where you got to pick up your Bible and read it yourself. You got to read it yourself. You got to get proper interpretations. Black people have identity crisis. I've seen the darkest of Latinos, darker than Rigondeaux. Dominicans looking like me, talking about I'm not black. Nigga, let me drop you in the middle of West Virginia. They will show you what color you are. And then when you get to talking, you're gonna blow their mind. This nigger on there talking, this nigger talking that spick stuff. You a black Mexican. Get the noose. They're gonna tell you what color you are. They're gonna tell you. Stop it. I'm reading some comments. They're like, "Oh man, we at war." Dude, you're late. You late. You was born into war, man. What are you talking about? Your mama ain't tell you what time it is? And I ain't firing too many shots. But goddamn, did your daddy tell you? Or did he reserve the right to tell you? Could he keep his ass out of jail? Do you even know who he is? Did your mama stop twerking for 2 seconds and say, yo, look, this is why we can't do certain things? Or is she doing the things that we're not supposed to be doing? Are we holding ourselves accountable, or are we justifying bullshit? Diana, salute, Queen. Every person in this meme, and there's a few more I couldn't fit on here. Kirk Johnson, who was just in the Stronghouse a couple of weeks ago. In Canada, he had a run-in with the police officers. You can Google it. Kirk Johnson, former heavyweight champion, was racially profiled in Canada. Look it up. What happened when Marvin Hagler went to Europe and won his fight? They were throwing bottles in the ring on his ass. This is Marvin Hagler, man. Do I got to get into Joe Louis? Do I got to get into Muhammad Ali? Why did I get upset when those emails about Al Heyman got intercepted, calling him Black Hitler? I'm like, what is that? Not a white person did that. Those were all Latinos. And who was working there at the time? Bernard Hopkins. I said, bro, I know B-Hop and his pro-black ass and how the industry did him. I just know he gonna say something. He was silent. He hasn't said anything to this day. Him of all people. What? Man. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I just had a clownfish come up into the chat yesterday who had a personal gripe. We appreciate, love, and celebrate the success of Bud Crawford. That wasn't enough. He come in here and start talking about what other channels are doing. I don't know what other channels are doing. So talking about the disservice that was done to Bud and celebrating the fact that he's done something that no fighter has done in this era is not enough for him, because he got a personal gripe. And he told on himself when he said, oh, because he beat your favorite fighter. Well, who's my favorite fighter? Who's my favorite fighter? Who are you talking about? Go ahead and say Errol. I don't give a shit. It's boxing. Somebody gonna win, somebody gonna lose. Why are you in here with a personal gripe? Because this is the bigger picture. Now watch this. Watch this. Here's how diseased we are. And I know his dumb ass is watching today, but you're blocked. But take heed to the message. There's a lot of things I could have said about Bud. And I ain't got to lie on him. There's a lot of things I could have said about Bud. When Bob Arum dragged him, and we were like, yo, what's up with that? The amount of money I could have, the amount of money I lost on Bud, I could have bought a house in Beverly Hills. We went crazy. We was like, yo, you don't talk like that about Bud. What did Bud say? You don't know his heart. Leave him alone.
What?
Did that not happen? That happened. I said, oh, shit. What's wrong with Bud? Okay, I'm going to mind my business. And I stopped talking about it. I stopped talking about it. Then Bud ended up suing him for racial discrimination. Bob Arum is popping his collar. What happened to him and Manny? Oh, well, I killed the fight. Okay, you killed the fight for Bud, but you send him to goddamn Australia to lose? No matter how you slice it, Jeff Horn, you go to his box rec, he has a win over Manny Pacquiao. That was supposed to be Bud. But when Bob Arum was asked, why didn't you just put him in the ring with Bud? He said, Manny's just such a nice guy. I know how the fight ends. So you put your friendship over money in that aspect. But at the same time, you're talking about the money you lost on your pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. And even back then, there were various people saying, no, Bud Crawford's pound for pound. Huh? And then when we talk up for Bud, Bud said, you don't know his heart. Yeah, I think we do, brother, but you know what? Okay. And we left Bud alone on that, did we not? Then he turns around and sues him. We're like, yeah, man, get him. Get him. And you know what happened? You know what happened? Let me show you what happened. Where's that? This? No. This? No. This happened. Some asshat named Montero on Boxing on Twitter, when he was suing Bob Arum, this is what was said. When did Bud join the LDBC? Isn't this the same guy who re-signed with Top Rank in the past and helped bring other black fighters over to the company? I said, wait a minute. Bud has not been on anyone's channel. He ain't been on the Generals. He ain't been on mine. Definitely ain't been on BFTB. He ain't been on Trill Boxing Talk. What is he talking about? What the fuck? So LDBC is code for black fans who enjoy boxing. You see that? This cracker done lumped everybody up into one big pot of gumbo. And that's furthest from the truth. Furthest from the truth. And I want to show y'all that, so you don't think I'm bullshitting. Bud don't fuck with us, but we fuck with Bud. Whatever he wanted, we wanted. We wanted his best interest. Ain't nobody was rooting against him. There's not a fight that Bud had that we rooted against him. Listen to the language, y'all. Because I'm about to debunk somebody. WJ Luckett in that super chat salute, he said it's been a war against us ever since we've been brought here. Exactly. Salute to you. Thank you. Because I hear the Bud fans right now, oh, well, you picked Errol to be. No, it's a pick. I fucks with Errol, and I just thought he would win. That's it. Bud proved me wrong, and I celebrated his win. Did I get on here and start hating? Did I get on here and start making excuses? No. I was at the fight. I bought all of Bud's pay-per-views. What are you talking about? I've been to Bud's fights. I was there when he beat Amir Khan. That was in New York. I was there. I was there. I was in Vegas when he beat Errol. I was there, and I bought the pay-per-view for 2 houses. I support Bud more than his fans do. It was just a pick, that's all. I got on here and said, man, I don't know why Mel Charles chasing Canelo. He's undisputed at 154. Right now, he should fight Bud. Forget Canelo, forget the redhead. These two brothers should break bread and make history. Bud will have an opportunity to become an undisputed at the next division up. Forget Canelo. I said that. But y'all too focused. Y'all too focused on the wrong thing. Y'all always hating on Bud. Well, those cops hating on Bud. What you gonna do about that? Don't talk to me. I know what Bud said about Bob Arum. I know what Bud said when he was asked, "Hey, man, you know what's your most important fight of your career?" He had a problem saying Errol. Y'all forgot that? And then he said, "Nah, that fight was for the community." He said Madrimov. Y'all forgot? Did I do a marathon stream about that? Did I do a short video about that? Yo, Bud, you wrong for that. No, I let that go. I said, man, I'm not going to play into it. I'm not going to play into it.
Bud don't know what's going on. Bud got a problem congratulating people that look like him. Bud thanked Errol for making that fight. That fight between him and Errol doesn't happen if it wasn't for Errol. Ask Bud. He said it several times. That was his number one arch rival. And he dominated. And still won't give him credit. Did I go on a rant about that? No. Would I be lying? No. That's how diseased we are. That's how diseased we are. Ridiculous. Let me ask you a question. What makes that thought process any different from Floyd Mayweather's thought process? Wasn't the consensus around Floyd, wasn't the idea around Floyd was he don't fight black fighters? Remember? He only fight Latin fighters. Remember that? Bud ran around thanking Errol for that opportunity. Errol didn't have to do shit. Sat right there and told white media Errol's that fight was for the culture, for the community. But Madrimov, I said, oh, Bud, come on now. Don't do that. But there's something called the nigga wake-up call. And here we are. Everything I just said, those white cops don't give a shit. Those white cops probably don't even watch boxing. And I read all the jokes. Oh, they'll probably bet on Canelo. Okay, fine. All they saw was a nigga getting celebrated and they're chewing on their tobacco, talking about, I don't care, nigga. Oh, there you go. Go ahead and reach. He got his ass out that car and put cuffs on him. The millions of dollars, the turkey money, the private jets, that $1 million house in that gated community where those white cops don't live. It means nothing. You're just another darky. Fresh off of celebrating. You're just another darky. So I hope Bud learned something. How about that? To all you motherfuckers with a personal gripe. I could have easily had a personal gripe against Bud. I let all of that go. Because what he was trying to accomplish meant more to the community. So I got on code. I didn't say anything. Now, Bud haters, tell me what I lied on him. Oh, yeah, you'll come in here and tell me I shouldn't say that, but did he not do it? Everything I said, he did. But I never said it leading up to this Canelo fight. Because there was no call for it. You could learn something from me. Personal gripe. Is dangerous. When Tank Davis was standing outside of that car and that body cam footage came out with those cops walking up on him, did I do a marathon stream clowning him? Hey, yo, look. Hey, look, man, look at this little nigga. Oh, man, look at Mellow Yellow. Oh, there go Coach Cal. Oh, shit, you better shut up, boy. Oh, oh, look at that nigga. Oh, yeah. They gonna lock him up. Oh, man, you should be beating on your girl. Did I do that? Did I do that? No. But when that picture came out of Errol Spence in the hospital sleeping with his face all swollen, you know how many people made that their avatar? You see that? That was nobody but Bud fans. That was nobody but Bud fans doing that shit. Nobody. Shakur had a collapse in discipline and had a fight at a gas station. Hit a woman. Can I ask y'all a question? How many videos I did making fun of him? I might have reported on it, but how many videos I did making fun of him? And this is after he wants to claim he's Puerto Rican and undermine all of his black fans. And I had a problem with that. But how many videos did I do clowning that situation? When they put that mugshot on his box rec, I was one of the people that wrote several emails. I was one of the people that protested that. I don't care how Puerto Rican you think you are, which you're not as white. And you fell under a white supremacy iron hand. So I couldn't help but to protect that kid. He ain't gotta know me. People could send him shit that I said about him. He could see me and snub me in real life. I wouldn't care. I know who I am as a man. And some of you put your personal gripes ahead of reality. That's why I say I don't trust a lot of you niggas. I've never seen anything like this. Marcus Walls in that super chat salute. He says, Cook Druth, I'm on the job. Thank you, brother. I'm on the job. I've never seen anything like this. But you know, my grandmama told me on both sides of my family, when you're looking for revenge, dig 2 graves. Because you're sacrificing something. Could be your life. It could be your personal integrity. Don't tell me you stand for what's righteous, and then you go ahead and look for revenge. Leave it in God's hands. I know you heard that before, but sometimes God don't work when you want him to work. But God is building a case. It's never on your time. Oh, I'm sorry. You've heard me say it like this. Sometimes all you got to do is just watch. Sometimes you don't have to lift the finger. Let them talk. You hear me say shit like that all the time. Let them talk. And this what happened to Bud should be a learning moment for you assholes, especially the asshole with the Bud avatar that pulled up. This should be a learning moment for you. I'm the wrong show for you to pick a moment to, I don't know what that was. Was that supposed to be an I told you so moment? No, nigga, I told you so. Because Bud has moved and shook very fugazi. And I never said anything. I just supported him, which is why you pulled up here. But he found out something on his birthday, didn't he? Snap out of it, bruh. You're black. Snap out of it. You had a reminder. Don't matter. We don't care. Isn't that what the cop said? Don't care. Hey, man, I don't care. Hey, I just had a parade. I don't care. I just beat Canelo. I don't care. Get your blackity black hands behind your black back. You nappy-headed nigga, get in the back of the sector car and be going down to the white police house. You bliggity black. I got the key to the seat. Don't care, nigger. You got a reminder. So what the fuck you over here trying to tell me about what another channel said about him? I heard it all. I don't care. Was that your this was your revenge for what? What was that? And I'm talking to the haters right now. What was that? What was that? I know. You know who didn't know? Bud didn't know. And what you needed to see was how no matter what black fighter moves, if they're moving for something righteous, they're gonna put them in the pot with the LDBC. And some of these niggas we don't even talk to. Matter of fact, Which wasn't it Maul Charlo that threatened to beat up Blue a couple of years ago? You remember that? Yo, unsubscribe for Blue Blood Sports TV. When I see you, I'm a X, Y, and Z. First of all, nigga, you ain't gonna do shit. Especially when I'm standing there. You ain't gonna raise your hands to none of my brothers. You ain't gonna do shit. Got all the smoke for your own. Got all the smoke for black media online. Danny Jacobs walked up on your punk ass and you went from lion to kitten. Right there in our face. And a lot of these media brothers, you don't know who you talking to for real. Because if it wasn't for the media, a lot of these niggas would be doing something else. I know a lot of them, and I'll just say that. And Blue ain't say shit to him. And another thing is, we don't say shit about these fighters that are not true. A lot of these grown adolescent babies, they've been in the gym and babied all their life. They don't have any real life experience with nothing. They've been in the gym. They never had to have a real job in all their life. So they don't respect it unless they got a father in their life that lived that life for them and say, son, I'm gonna put you here so you ain't gotta do what I do. But every day I'm gonna tell you what I did so you don't make the mistakes and you ain't gotta do what I have to do. Shout out to Bill Haney. Shout out to Deontay Wilder. Do we want to shout out Bud Crawford's mom? Did y'all see that? How many videos did I do about his mom's interview? And this is way before the Canelo fight, y'all. How many interviews? How many videos did I do? And y'all know I got the Painful Excellence podcast. That was great content, and it was further proof about what I say about black women. The problem. How many videos did I do about that? No. I said, oh, shit. And I left it alone. You know why? Because I said, Bud is on his way to doing something great. I don't know if it's undisputed at 60 or 54. I never thought it was Canelo, to be honest. But I said, you know what? I don't need to put a spotlight on that. So I'm going to keep quiet. But everyone else talked about it. O'Shea Duke Jackson. I think Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, the big channels spoke on it. I said, damn. But I'm a boxing channel over here. And I could have took it over to Pep Talk. I didn't. I didn't say a word. Because I was on code. Now, if that was Errol's mom doing that shit, how many marathon streams would there have been? Yeah. I could name some names that would have did that shit. Because a lot of it is not a shot. It's not a shot at Errol. It'd have been a shot at us at the LDBC. See what I mean? A lot of times it's not the fighters, it's us. And that's a mind fuck in itself. Y'all don't know that I'm tired of being treated like this. Y'all don't know that broke my heart when I watched that video for the first time. I didn't even want to look at it. I brought myself to look at it the other day. Well, when it happened, I did tear up because I was angry. I'm like, God damn, in Omaha? He just got the key to the city, win of his life. Why is this being done? If that was another fighter, y'all have laughed. You know how I know y'all have fucked off? What happened when Devin got pulled over with that gun incident? You know what you mindless freaks said? Oh, he trying to be like Tank. That's why I don't like him. He trying to be street. First of all, Tank's not street. Second of all, who goes to the extent of getting a criminal record for street cred when you're already a millionaire? Who the fuck said that? I know one cracker said that, and y'all follow him, but I said, what the hell? That's what you think we do? But the funny shit was the amount of you knuckle draggers that laughed. What the fuck was so funny? And I told y'all without even knowing the facts, I said, man, I already know what happened here. Y'all will see. Look, somebody strapped. It was his security. They saw the firearm. They said, well, whose gun is it? Nobody wanted to take credit for the gun. They said, all right, well, whose car? It was in Devin's name. Okay, your car, your gun. That's it. He's the talent. The people are there are friends in security. They locked them up and they dropped the charges. Simple. Some of you knuckle draggers was mad that the charges got dropped. Can you believe it? Y'all didn't say, oh man, Devin could have gotten killed, man. Man, why they harassing the young black man? A lot of y'all didn't even say that. And I ain't got to tell you what type of fans were promoting that kind of dysfunction. Y'all already know. And I said, man, you knuckle draggers can't get on code for 2 fucking seconds. Some of you motherfuckers were hoping that he got shot. I read it. I read it all. Leading up to the Canelo fight, Blue Blood did a video. And he was talking about how we're not on code. And he was talking about how, oh, you know what he was talking about? The picture that they drew about Bud. I did a live about that. And I'm like, man, what the fuck is this? And where's the rival picture? Where's the funny picture about Canelo with his red hair and the freckles? Didn't see it. But they drew Bud with his big lips and everything else. I said, man, who the fuck did that? What's up with that? Well, Blue did a video. And sometimes I like to scroll down and read the comments. And there was about 3 motherfucking niggas in there talking about, oh yeah, Blue, I approved this message. And I'm looking at these niggas like, yo, you motherfuckers be the main ones firing shots. What you mean you approved this message? This is why I got trust issues. Well, I'm on code, but those LDBCers, you sound just like Rick Glasser. Bud says, "Hey man, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm suing for racial discrimination," which is clearly what it was. Motherfuckers say, "Oh, when did Bud join the LDBC?" Oh, so now the LDBC, we're a bunch of black boxing racist fanatics. That's what we are. Montero Boxing, pull up. We need to have a conversation. It's about 3 years past due. I got questions about that tweet. Why'd you say it? You don't agree with the lawsuit? You come explain yourself to me. Come to the Strong House. Let's have a conversation. He won't. Because he's insecure like the rest of these clowns. And you black channels, I would say you ought to be ashamed of yourself, but you have no shame. You have no shame. This all is personal for you. You have a personal love for whatever fighter. And you don't want to hear no truth about them if it don't suit your agenda. He's 100% perfect, which is why I don't deal with certain things. If you can't be honest about a fighter you support, then I really don't want to talk to you. I really don't. If you try and justify everything silly that this person does, I don't really want to talk to you. But God damn it, when something's being done to that black fighter, I don't care how I feel about him personally. But if I see that it's clearly racist, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't speak up on it. Bernard Hopkins works my goddamn nerves in this new second part of his career as a promoter / manager or whatever the fuck he's doing. Works my nerve. I have nothing to say about his professional boxing career. I know what he went through. But he's an asshole. As a promoter / manager, he completely lost me when he didn't speak up on that Al Heyman shit. Lost me. I don't want to talk to him, and I had about at least 4 opportunities standing right next to him to say something to him. I just turned my back. I don't want to deal with him. I spoke to Antonio Tarver at least 2 times. B-Hop was right there. I don't want to talk to him. I don't. There's a few guys I've seen that I don't want to talk to. I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. Man. Fuck that. I don't want to talk to him. Don't care. Ridiculous. But if a video emerges where some cop yanked him out the car and they start tuning him up, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then you find out it's completely unnecessary. Whatever issues I have with him have nothing to do with what happened to him that moment. When Rodney King got his ass beat, we found out about his criminal history. I'm like, why is that even coming up? When George Floyd was murdered, what was the first thing they told us? Oh, he has a criminal history. He's beaten women. Okay, so he wasn't a good guy. What did that have to do with that knee on his fucking neck? Nothing. What did that have to do? Okay, so you're saying that that demon devil did us a favor? That's what you're saying? Because as he was doing that, you think he factored in George Floyd's criminal history? Found out that they knew each other? So what the fuck are we talking about here? All he saw was another black face. That could have been George Floyd. It could have been you. Could be me. Now here's the funny part. Let's say it happens to me. I'm going out today. It could happen to me today. There'd be a majority of people saying, man, they shouldn't have did that to Drew. That's fucked up. But how many motherfuckers will get on YouTube and be like, oh yeah, see, that's what he did. There'll be all black people doing that shit too. That's what Drew did. Because 3 years ago, I said, I think Wilder's losing to Fury, and he blocked me. Yeah? Can't get on code for 2 seconds because it's all personal. Where's the heat for Sergey Kovalev? Where's the mugshot for Sergey Kovalev? I know he got at least 2 felonies. He beat up Becky and then returned to the scene of the crime and got arrested with a shitload of money in his pocket. And they suspect he was going to pay her off to not say anything. Kicked her ass and beat her dog. Then he caught a DUI. Nobody said deport him. Nobody said he shouldn't make money in our country. He's Russian. Nope. How's he awarded? A $12 million payday against Canelo Alvarez. That's $2 million more than what Jermell Charlo made. Was Jermell Charlo on stage screaming and hollering, lines in the cab. Oh, yeah. Texas, we from Texas. Yeah, lines in the cab. Nope. He was quite the modern citizen, wasn't he? And I'm like, look at this. Okay. Nah, Black Cherico, that woman that Sergey beat up, she was Becky. She was white. Fred interviewed her. Barbershop Conversations. I was listening that night. Go to his channel and put in Sergey Kovalev and see what comes up. She called in. She had nerve damage and all that. Nobody said deport him. Nobody said kick him out the country. Nobody said he should never work here again. Nobody said anything. And I think prior to that, he had a DUI. And I think he had a situation on an airplane. We had to be removed. Dude drinks. He's a drinker. My boy lives in Florida. He called me up. He said, yo, bro, Sergey Kovalev's in the bar right now. I said, what? Swear to God. Yes. That happened. Tyson Fury could come over here and do whatever the fuck he wants. Deontay Wilder gets on the scale, they boo him out of his mind, and he's from here. He's from the trenches. Devin Haney gets cheated. No speculation, because we had to fight for Deontay. But no speculation, he was cheated. It came out. All of it came out. Ryan was lying all over the place about several different things. I don't take vitamins and supplements. And then he blamed Asha Wakanda. I said, I thought you don't take vitamins and supplements. No, but this did it. Then the company said, ain't no ostarine in our product. Then he blamed two other products, Super Carb and NutraBlast or whatever it was. And they said, nope, not in the lot number that you said. And then the company said, hey, man, the canisters that they sent to us, that Ryan sent to us, there was ostarine in it, but they were already opened. This kid was lying all over the place. And his last response was, fuck George Floyd. He was on fentanyl. And what did you niggas say? I can't unsee the left hook. So you got to understand, this is why I have trust issues. I don't trust a lot of you niggas that were born in 2000. Some of you niggas was born in the late 90s. I don't trust you niggas because something happened. If you're old enough to remember your mama getting dressed up and going out looking for a new daddy, if you're old enough to remember that and to normalize that, chances are I can't talk to you. Chances are I can't talk to you. I really can't. Because if she did that in your face, you've normalized a lot of dysfunction. And we're not the same. If you are still walking around identifying with the bad side of how a fighter came up, for example, if you could say, I fuck with Tank because I identify with how he came up, he from the trenches. If you're saying that, chances are you and I cannot have a conversation. I'm not saying it's impossible, but chances are you and I can't talk. Because I don't identify with none of that. That's not my story. I come from an era where if you had to go to the store and use the book of welfare stamps, y'all remember that? The welfare stamps that look like paper money, look like Monopoly money, y'all remember that? And you go into the store and they said, no, I can't sell you that without the whole book, because sometimes you would walk around with the loose. But they said, no. You probably stole that from somebody. You have to have the whole book to use it. The food stamps. Remember the food stamps? I come from an era where if you grew up like that, that was embarrassing to let your peers know. It wasn't celebrated. Now you got welfare kings and queens. Hell, the welfare kings are being enabled by the queens, all on the internet. I got 7 kids, 6 different baby daddies. And I'm looking for the 7th. You saw that bitch? And she raised her oldest son to eat off of the system and put it on TikTok. Go on, son. Tell him what you do. I get my fruit snacks and my juices, and the government done pay for it. And I'm not saying he's gay, but I'm looking at his mannerisms, and I'm like, he's acting like who? His mother. His head got the popping and shit. I'm like, yo, he's around his mom all day. There's no male influence inside that house. And I'm not going off on a tangent because this is all relevant. When I tell you, a lot of you motherfuckers are not qualified to even speak to me. When you're a grown-ass man and you identify with an athlete that grew up fucked up, chances are I can't talk to you. Because I don't know nothing about roaches in my cereal box. Nah, I can't. Now, I knew friends that did grow up hard. My parents told me, look, don't make fun of them, man. I know you're not out there making fun of them. No, they don't have what we have. I grew up with two friends that had no fathers in the house. One because their mama made a bad decision. The other one, I think his dad died in Vietnam or something. Died in the military. But you know what, and I'm friends with them to this day. You know what they did have? Male influence. There was around us, and our fathers' behavior rubbed off on us. And guess what? When our fathers was coming home from work and they saw us in front of the building, they'd walk up, hey, how you doing, man? Y'all, I know you did your homework. Hey. And then my two buddies that didn't have a father, they put emphasis on them. I know you did your homework, right? You did your homework? How's your grades? And they were on them like that. Yes, Mr. So-and-so. I did my homework, Mr. So-and-so. Yeah, because if you didn't, I'm going to call your mama. And all of the parents kept in contact with each other. I'll call your mama. I'm going to make sure, when I go to open school night, I'm going to ask about you. That's what we did. That was the village. I didn't realize it growing up. But it worked wonders. Now you try and tell a YN, hey, man, pull your pants up, man. Hey, man. Yo, man, why you got that gun? Hey, man, stop harassing Habib at the bodega, man. Stop. Yo, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Turn up. And then you're like, all right, man, I'm going to leave you alone. And then his mama come and do the same shit. Why are you talking to my son? Bitch. What? So when I get on here and I show concern and I say, hey, man, Tank's baby mama almost tried to get that young man killed. Y'all don't see that. When I get on here and I say, man, Bud almost was murdered the other night. Y'all don't see that. When I get on here and I say, man, those police, they can't stand the fact that Devin is not even 25 years old and he was probably driving a $100,000 vehicle, fully paid for. Probably. I don't know if it was rental or not, but whatever it was, they had the money for it. And for them to even hit him with a gun charge, the probability of that young black kid life being at risk was very high. And when I say I'm disgusted by that, what am I met with? You just a Devin Haney dick rider. You know Bill. You on his payroll. What? And when I stand in the pocket for Deontay and the disservice that he was done. Oh, bum squad. You know Tate Jones. Deontay's paying you. When I say, oh my God, what happened to Errol? He was probably drunk. You don't even know what happened. At the time, you didn't know what happened. And who's saying this shit to me? A bunch of people that look like me. Personal gripes. You can't get on code for 2 fucking seconds. And this is why I have trust issues. We're fighting multiple wars. We're fighting white supremacy, and we're fighting our own. Yeah, Kuda, I go through this every day. Today, there's going to be a video about me and what I'm saying right now. There's a nigger watching me right now that's going to try and go into my archives and say, oh, yeah, Drew, he contradict himself. This nigga Drew, he said this and that, but he said, Coach Malachi, and he do this and they do what they do. With your third grade education. There's a nigga watching me right now that's going to have to try and find something funky to say. Pull your pants up. Get a job. Be a credit to your community. Say something of substance. Stop looking for faults in me and trying to fight with me. They tried to kill Bud, y'all. What was his crime? What was his crime? Tell me what his crime was. They let him go. There was no charges. It was a legal carry. Do y'all know that? Well, I'm about to play the news in a second. What was his crime? Anybody? Y'all remember how they used to treat Larry Holmes? Y'all that old? Y'all that old? Legendary boxer, Hall of Fame fighter. They treated him like shit. Larry Merchant. Look it up, man. Don't take my word for it. They didn't love Ali until he was shaking and could barely form a sentence. That's when they loved him. Y'all young, y'all YNs, y'all just call him the GOAT because y'all hear everyone else calling him the GOAT. And y'all see pictures of him. No. They hated that man. From the 60s all the way until 1981. They hated him. See Money, salute. Check this out. I appreciate you. They hated Ali. 30 years they hated him. Do your research. They took how many years of his career? Because he wouldn't go, he said, no Viet Cong ain't never shoot me or kill me. You know what they was going to do to Ali if he went to that war? He was going to get shot and killed by friendly fire. But they wouldn't have told us it was friendly fire. They just said, oh, we're going to bury him because he fought for our country. No, somebody was going to shoot his ass. He said, I ain't going over there, man. Fuck out of here. Joe Frazier's minding his business, and white folks loved him then. They used him as the get back. That's what they did. You guys don't understand. Man, white supremacy did a number on us, man. Y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't know anything about that. Just like I say, these black queens, y'all don't know how we got all the way over here. Right? 1965, when your great-great-grandma decided, I'm going to have Uncle Sam as my zaddy rather than having your great-great-grandpops in the house. It started right there. They chose welfare over the black man. Today, I hear black women talking about, oh, well, grandpa wasn't doing nothing but putting his cigarettes out on grandmama titties. So all of the women that went towards welfare chose to go that direction because grandpa was lazy? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Okay, don't take my word for it. But when Charlie Kirk said exactly that and said the black household collapsed and that's why we're fucked off now, now I'm seeing all these black women saying that that's true. I was like, wait a minute. Kevin Samuels been saying that for like the past 5 years. Y'all told him shut up. And then when he died, y'all danced on his grave. Zaddy comes along and says it. Oh, you know, that's true. Oh my God. Y'all are ridiculous. Drew, why you got trust issues? Well, I don't know if you're listening. I don't know if you're listening. Mark my words, there's gonna be a nigger doing a video about me right now. And by the way, one of them niggers was on my panel, and I had him up here. I said, dude, what's your problem? What is your problem? And after we got all the screaming and cussing out the way, I said, yeah, we did all that. What's your problem? You said that Monster knew he stacks his raps. I said that? Yeah, you said that, and it's not true. I said that, you sure? Yeah, you, meaning I made it up. No, I didn't. Cool Boy Steph did a whole fucking media call in Japan, and his team found out that they stacked their raps. Come to find out that that's how they stack their rap. Stacking their raps is illegal here, but that's how they just wrap their hands in Japan. Tape gauze tape. You can't do that here. I think only in 2 states in America you can do it. But wait a minute. You thought I made that up? I'm glad you come to me as a media source. But when I report on shit, don't I always put a link in the description so you can go read it yourself? They did a whole goddamn press conference over stacked raps. There's a video from ESPN where he's rapping his hands, and I'm watching him put the fucking tape on it first. I said, you can't do that. And guess who called me to talk to me about it? Rachel. And I said, wait, I'm confused. Did something change? Is it supposed to be gauze, tape, gauze? It's not tape, gauze, tape. Yep. But this dumb nigga, like I'm on here making shit up. It was several things I had to explain to him. And at the end of the conversation, what did he say? You know what, Drew? I'm off your bumper. All right, I appreciate it. Guess what he did 3 days later? Another fucking video about me. I would say unbelievable, but it's not. So everything I say triggers these insecure niggas. They're watching me. They're not paying attention to the landscape. They're not paying attention to what's being done to these black fighters. They're watching me. So when someone sends me a video or a screenshot, when someone's talking about me in a chat somewhere or doing a video about me, it's a badge of honor, man. You know.
He bit the bait.
The nigga's gonna do a video about me today. I saw a screenshot, some funky nigga talking about, Drew, he always talking about Malachi. Psst, all justified. I could be cool with anybody. I just got on my video on my internet one day, and I was like, well, who's this nigga LDBC Killer? What is that? Who is that? Kill us for what? What did we do to him? Who is that? All right. That's another nigga. Big old channel doing videos about me. But he's one of the niggas jumps in Blue Blood's chat talking about, yo, I approve this message, Blue. What are you talking about, nigga? You're part of the dysfunction. What are you talking about? What? He's one of the main ones. I don't understand. Fuck. Then when the opportunity came for us to meet and have a conversation, what did he do? He hid like the rat he was. And I don't respect it. I don't respect it at all. There was space and opportunity for us to meet and have a conversation like, man, that nigga didn't come to the weigh-in. He didn't come to the event. He went to go visit Marco at his comedy club. Marco wasn't even there because Marco was at the fight with me in press row. And that nigga vanished. Goes back to Tampon, Florida, and puts up a fucking a meme. Him being Tupac and me in 78 on it. Talking about West Side. Nigga, you's a clown. And you's a part of this dysfunction. You's a fucking clown. And half of the people that fuck with you is only the people that we don't want to deal with. Midget ass nigga. And by the, you know what? I'm not even gonna say much. Y'all know what it is. But everybody around him is not his friends. And I'll say it one more time. Everybody around him are not his friends either. Because Because a lot of people told on him. Where he's staying at, where he was at in Vegas during the Canelo Crawford fight. Yo, Drew, you in Vegas? Nah. Oh, because look at this. Video of him walking. I'm like, oh, come on, bro. Don't send me this. Stop. Don't send me this. It needs to be strangers. I'm like, who is this? No, just play the video. Him walking. I'm like, oh, come on. I don't know who this is. I have to block that dude. I'm not a gangster. I ain't a sucker, but I'm not a gangster. I'm not looking for him like that. But y'all go run, tell him that. And I ain't the only person that whoever the fuck that was sent it to. Because he got a lot of people that don't like him. How look beating up the dude the size of a 10-year-old? How look beating up anybody? Over what? I'll be 50 years old this year. Internet beef? That he started? What the fuck? No. The time for him to have a conversation, that's come and gone. 10 times out of 10, I see him, I just look at him and be like, man, get the fuck, man. For what? You's a sucker. You's a puss. I ain't got nothing to say to you. I already know what you about. You're a coward. Next. Gotta block mad people. Why you letting me know you got eyes on them? Yo, I got eyes on them, Drew. Come on, man. I'm not no godfather. Stop, man. What the fuck? Stop sending me this shit. Who cares? Yeah, Malakun, you ain't got no friends like you think, bro. There's a lot of people that want to see you get your ass kicked. I'm not playing into none of that. Idiot. Dummy. Niggas think they got friends out here. They don't. Watch this. Think I'm bullshitting? Wait a minute. Hold on. Some nigga sent me a pic. He had on red pants or shorts. They may have been shorts. A white shirt with red writing on it. I don't know what it was saying. He had on a bracelet on his left hand. I don't know what it was exactly. He had his nappy afro and a goatee. He was talking to somebody. And an unidentified flying nigga sent that to me. Eyes on him. I'm like, why are you sending me this? I had to block that dude. I'm like, who the fuck? Man, dudes are not your friend, Malachi. I'm letting you know that right now. People are not your friend. They want to see something happen to you. It won't be from me. I like my freedom. And that's not the first time. That's happened a few times. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Stop. Well, you know what? Let me take accountability. A lot of that is my fault because I get on here and I do this. I talk about it. But it needs to be said. I'm not checking for him. Because God forbid something does happen to this monkey and the FBI gets involved and I got to answer a phone call. Hey, we know this dude, he was beaten. And, well, what is the LDBC? What do y'all do? Nothing. We talk boxing. Go to his house and look in his hamper. Look at his nut rag. Y'all know nut rags? Y'all know, stop front. When y'all was going through puberty at the age of like 13 and between the age of 13 and 14, and you can't stop jacking off, you have a nut rag. Well, he has a nut rag that says LDBC kill on it. He threatened us, and what did we do? We ignored him. I don't know who hit him in the head or whatever the fuck. I don't know who did what. Wasn't us. We don't even think about him. He thinks about us. So I hope I was of help. Get your naked gun on. So go run, tell him that, because you got a lot of snitches out here. Oh, yeah, Drew was saying this. Drew was saying, yeah, go tell him that. That's why my gram is private. And the op that's on my gram, I know who you are. I'm just waiting for you to do something stupid. I know who you are. I already found you. No, Abel. No, Abel. Somebody sent me, when he was in Vegas, somebody asked me, yo, you in Vegas out here? Because people do that. Yo, Drew. Yo, I'm a big fan. Are you out here? I'm like, I don't know who the fuck. Yo, stranger danger. Nah. Yo, watch this. And sending me short videos of this nigga. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Blocked. I'm nowhere near Vegas. Stop doing that shit. But y'all know what that's about? They want to see us fighting. That person might not like Malachi and he might not like me. They just want to see us get into a competition. They want somebody dead and somebody in jail. That's what they want. I'm not giving y'all that. I'm not giving y'all that. No. Picture me in front of a judge explaining why I put hands on that dude. My big ass. Like, yo, why would you? And what are y'all fighting over? Oh, well, he said something about the LDBC and what? Man, you getting 5 years just for being stupid. Man, shut up, man. Get out of here. I'm not giving y'all that. Ain't nothing but a lost nigga wanting that. Exactly, Brother Reef. Motherfuckers run over there just to hear him talk shit. He's as off code as they come. So when I saw that comment in Blue's chat, I said, what the fuck? He's the main one. Man, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Just know this. Whatever problem he has, it wasn't us. I don't know him. I don't. Never reached out to me. Nothing. He came on here starting trouble. Sheila, salute, Queen. He came on here starting trouble. Not cool. We all supposed to be black, right? Supposed to be. Nigga saw I approve this message. I was like, look at this nigga. Get the fuck out of here. You must be out your goddamn mind. Let me play this. Pay attention.
Launched an internal affairs investigation after a traffic stop involving Omaha native Terrence Bud Crawford. Thanks for joining us. I'm Julie Cornell. So it came after this.
Fair use. Don't go messing with my channel. I see a bunch of channels do this. It's for educational purposes. I've seen channels where they just play other YouTube channels and they just looking at the screen and then they stop it and narrate and look at the screen and stop it. Please don't mess with my channel.
City of Omaha celebrated his dominance in the ring and his birthday. KETV News Watch 7's Pete Cudahy spoke with city leaders and members of Crawford's team who were in the car as everything went down. Pete, what do we know?
Julie, a video has been circulating on social media of an Omaha police officer pointing a gun at Terrence Crawford. After
That's the cop.
speaking with both sides, we've been trying to figure out how everything escalated. Saturday at 1:30 in the morning, Terrence Crawford was stopped by police on Cass Street. Crawford's head of security, Kasim Shabazz, was in the car.
Cop comes to my window, cop goes to Bud's window. I know the protocol.
An officer with the Omaha Police tells KETV that while Crawford was reaching to grab his information, like license and registration, the cop spotted a gun by Crawford's feet.
Now let me stop right there. Legal carry. He had security with him. But again, Once they got to the goddamn car and saw it was Bud, they should have extended the courtesy, but they didn't. Why is there a gun by your feet? Oh, that's my security. It's a legal carry state. At most, what they could have did was say, okay, whose gun is it? His right here? Let me see your license to carry that. At most. Why the fuck are you? Okay, let me just go ahead. Because this escalated.
He asked Mr. Crawford to exit the vehicle, and he did. And then Mr. Crawford was placed in handcuffs while they conducted their investigation.
Now, let me say this. When you're placed in handcuffs at a scene, it doesn't mean you're under arrest. You can have cuffs put on you for the cop's own safety. That's true. That's true. But he was taken into custody. For you to be taken into a custody, you have to be read your rights, in charge of something. He was taken downtown and released. But let's go ahead.
The other 3 passengers in the car were also ordered to step outside at gunpoint and placed in handcuffs. Police say they found 2 guns in the car, but found that the people in the car were legally permitted to carry.
You see that? Legally permitted to carry.
But Shabazz says things went down differently, saying Crawford never reached for his license or registration.
You hear that?
He said, no, I don't have it on me. I left everything at home. He had already told them, so there was no reason for him to reach for nothing.
That's very important, y'all. There's no reason for him to reach for nothing because he told the officer, I don't have it on me. I left everything at home. Now, you're supposed to have it on you. But again, I'm talking about courtesy now. In the 90s, when Allen Iverson was playing for Philly, I knew a few cops in Philly. They said, man, that kid is annoying. I'm like, why? It's like, yo, this motherfucker be doing illegal U-turns, speeding and shit, and we are told not to fucking bother him. Hey, man.
Shabazz says both he and Crawford had guns on them. He told the police he had a firearm following Nebraska law.
Now, if I'm going to nitpick at this, what I will say is this. I don't care who you are, man. You can't be leaving your crib with no fucking ID. How the hell you don't have your driver's license on you, but you got your firearm on you? Brothers, you gotta be smart. Sisters, you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. Don't do that. Do not do that. You gotta be a little more responsible. But still, the police, once they figured out who it was, they were supposed to extend that courtesy. They weren't outside to hurt anybody, do a crime. If it was driving a little reckless, you pull them over. Oh, that's Bud. Oh, yo, listen, man, can you drive a little better? Drive a little better. Did anyone curse at the officers? No, that's not what the video showed. They said, gun. Oh, no, we have a legal carry. Get out the car. Come on, bro. What, did you charge him for driving without his ID? I remember years ago, I got pulled over and I like dead ass left my eye. What happened was I was filling out some paperwork for a job and I took my driver's license out my wallet and I filled out the app and I took it with me, took my wallet and left my goddamn driver's license on my mom's kitchen table. So I'm driving in a cop, it was the 90s, y'all. I got pulled over. Guy said, you know, license registration. I opened my wallet, and as soon as I opened it and saw my license was in it, I knew where it was. I said, oh, shit. And the cop looked at me and said, yeah, oh, shit, huh? I said, yeah. I said, listen, this is going to sound crazy, but I said I filled out a job application. I took my wallet out. I took my license out my wallet, right? I filled it out. I grabbed my wallet. I left. I said the ID is on my mother's kitchen table. Swear to God. He said, all right, well, do you know the numbers on your wallet? I mean, on your driver's license. I said, incidentally, I do, because it's very easy to remember. I ain't gonna say it on here. And I told him. He said, you sure? I said, yes. He said, okay. He said, if I run that and you have any outstanding warrants or anything, I'm locking you up. He said, if everything is clean and it's really you, I'm gonna give you a courtesy. Wait right here. I said, all right. Well, I ain't had nothing going on. But I said, man, this cop gonna come back and with some bullshit. He came back and he said, you lucky. Because I did have my insurance card on me. That I had. And I gave it to him. And he said, yo, you're lucky, man. You're lucky. He said, anybody else probably would have just took you down. I said, I understand. I said, but I'm telling you the truth. I said, I fucked up. And I said, whatever. He said, man, get home, your tail lights out. And I knew that. I had an out brake light. I knew that. That I knew. I said, all right, thank you. And I left. But that could have went left for me because I legitimately didn't have it on me. You're supposed to. It was the 90s. This was the Giuliani era, y'all. We had Mayor Giuliani out here. He was pro-cop. The nights belong to us. That's what his slogan was. I said, oh shit. Everybody was getting tossed. But anyway, back to this.
He says things escalated when Crawford announced he had a gun.
Bud said, I have a firearm too. The cop on his side went ballistic, totally unhinged. He says, get your hands up, get out the car, don't reach. But there was never a physical gun in sight.
You hear that? They asked you, do you have any weapons in the car? Yes, I do. That's what Philando Castile said. He said, I have a gun. It's a legal carry. Next thing you know, that gook cop took his life in front of his woman and the baby. For being honest.
Everyone thought we were...
You have a firearm on you? Yes. Oh, okay. It's a legal carry. I have my permit and everything. Okay, well, let me see your ID. He reaches for his ID. Don't move! Boom! That's what happened. How you gonna ask for his ID, then he reaches for the ID, and then you shoot him? America.
We're gonna die, man.
Crawford was then charged with reckless driving, despite Shabazz saying police pulled them over for speeding.
Bud said, well, how do you know I was speeding if you don't have radar?
Now, do you know, I can't speak for state troopers. State troopers usually catch you. They say, I clocked you at X amount of whatever. Do you know it's almost impossible for a police officer to charge you for speeding if they didn't catch it on their radar? They can't do that anymore. You speeding? Okay, now they can say reckless driving. Well, what did he do? He was swerving in and out of traffic. But there's so many cameras on these damn they got cameras on their body, they got cameras on their cars, because it holds them to a standard. But you still have to clock it. Well,
okay. Bud actually have the cop on camera saying, I admit that I do not have radar.
Wow. Oh, it's over.
A video that Shabazz has not shared with KETV. After hearing about the traffic stop, Mayor John Ewing Jr. got involved.
Myself, my chief of staff, Tom Warren, both reached out to Mr. Crawford, and he indicated that he would like us to do an investigation.
Mayor Ewing then contacted Police Chief Todd Schmaderer, who authorized an internal affairs investigation.
That means dick.
Ewing hopes that by requesting body camera footage, there will be answers.
Our job is to not speculate. Our job is to get the facts out to the people of this community and then be transparent in every step of the process.
KETV asked Omaha police to sit down for an interview, but they decided to stick to their written statement. The investigation remains ongoing.
If they don't fire that motherfucker and his superiors, somebody should lose it. Brian is asking, can the officer get fired? Yes, if they're in violation of, when you are involved in law enforcement, you swear an oath to uphold the law with the utmost integrity. I forgot what they had me swearing on that shit. I forgot all of that dumb shit, man. But nationwide, you swear an oath. And this cop acted out of character. It's to the point where, remove the fact if that was Bud or not. It could have been a regular guy. You said he was speeding. That's what they said. Driving reckless. What kind of reckless? Swerving, it appeared he was intoxicated. No, speeding. And then they have it on camera where he says, well, I admit I don't have you clocked on anything. Right there. Why was he cuffed and taken in and not charged? For you to leave that scene, that means you're under arrest. The word I got, unless something has changed, was that he was cuffed and then left the scene in handcuffs and released from the station. That's an arrest. And then you leave the station, that means you was locked up for something and you made bail and you left. And now you got to go to court to clear shit up. That didn't happen. So if they don't clock you with speeding, and then there's some sort of gun charge, but everybody has a legal carry, what are we talking about? That could have been resolved on the spot. On the spot. Y'all saw the fucking cop. Y'all saw his face. And that explains it all. Absolutely, Brian, it's against the fucking law. He's in violation of his code. I rock, my brother. Salute. That's right. They swear an oath. And once you violate it, your word is supposed to be your bond. And once you violate it, it's over. Over. But usually, you know how this goes. We've investigated ourselves and we found we didn't do anything wrong. So look for that. Bud should smash the gas on that whole department. Because I bet you will find probably that cop probably got a bunch of CCRBs. Well, in New York, that stands for Civilian Complaint Review Board, meaning that there's a lot of people in the public that has complaints about this cop. You remember the cop that shoved that pole up Luima's ass in New York? That was in the 90s, y'all. You remember that cop that did that? That sodomized Luima? Shoved, I think, a mop handle up his ass. Took it out and had blood and feces on it, and then he shoved it in his mouth. Y'all remember that? That was a big deal. In New York, that was a big deal. Well, when I got to the police academy, guess what kind of homework we had on that asshole? And guess what we learned about him? Because by then, some of the instructors were in the academy with him. And you know what they said to us? They said, yo, he was a problem in the academy. He kept getting in trouble. Graduated. And went out in the street and did the inevitable. They said he was a clown. I was like, man, holy shit. Wow. And because they looked past all of that, he cost the police department millions of dollars because Luima to this day ain't got to work a day in his life. It just cost him his ass. And the taste of blood and poop on his mouth. Jay Bean Boxing in that super chat, much love. He says, keep fighting the good fight. I'm on the job. Yo, I might be in Philly soon. I'm gonna hit you in the DM. I might be in Philly soon. These police officers know who's a problem. A lot of times when you find out these cops have done something, you find out it's not the first time they've done it. You find out they have all these complaints. So at first it's like, man, everyone in the community is crazy. Wait a minute. I understand the YN's got a complaint, but how about grandma over there? How about Mr. Charles that goes to work every day? They all have the same interaction. These guys don't even talk to each other, but they have the same complaint about Officer Assy McGee over here. You know what? Take him off the street. Have him work the desk for about 2 months. Maybe the public don't need to see him for a little while. Oh, Brother Reef, when Diallo happened, holy, man, listen. Subscribe to Patreon, bro. Subscribe to my Patreon. I was working in that time when that happened. In the vicinity of the 43rd Precinct, it was ridiculous. Leland and Westchester Avenue. Yes. Lord have mercy. Subscribe to my Patreon. Y'all, I got to get out of here, y'all, man. It's ridiculous, man. It's deflating. It's disgusting. Nerds on Culture tonight, me and Stormy. Y'all better be subscribed to the Sensei. We're going to be talking about some nerd stuff. All right? Because sometimes we got to give boxing a break, and I might do pep talk tonight. Salute to everybody in November, the Zelda Cash App, the Super Chat, man. Much love and appreciation. All y'all, the generals on. Let's head over there and support righteous boxing talk and recognize the real from the fake. All right, Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.